Welcome to the Plumbing Q&A Live, the best place on the internet to learn to make more money as a plumber. Here you can network with and learn from people that want to get into the trades, people that are in the trades and want to get better, tradesmen that want to open up their own companies, and company owners that want to grow their companies with social media. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're catching this recorded and you were looking for something else, jump over to the channel and search what you're looking for. You may want to hang out here though and learn how to make more money as a plumber or any other tradesman or anything like that. What do you want to learn to do? How do you want to do it? And do you want to get better? This is for whatever you want to do. Remember to subscribe, share, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on anything. And here we go. How is everybody doing? Are y'all like me? Do y'all feel a little heavier because of Thanksgiving last week? I had so much fun getting to hang out with my son and my granddaughters or grandchildren, and then went over to Julie's daughter's house and got to hang out with Catherine and Will and their families. And man, I tell you what, Thanksgiving is such a wonderful day, such a great time to spend with family. But I got to tell you, we had a very controlled Thanksgiving, meaning I didn't go to my sister's house like I normally do. She was inviting a lot of people over, and I just didn't want to do that. Man, look down here real quick. I want to say hello to Callum1423. Says, good day. Much love from Australia. Man, I hope you're doing great in the land down under. It's a great spot. I've got people that do a lot of plumbing stuff down there. It's really cool. I'm a part of Green Plumbers USA, which started as Green Plumbers Canada. So kind of neat. Man, got a lot of people in the chat already. That is such a wonderful thing. Refresh that and make that live chat. Beautiful. And up top, as you can see, there's a pinned comment. If you've got questions for me, go to the top, fill out the form. It'll send them over, and I've got a list of questions over here already coming in. So the cool thing is, man, we will get to them. We take questions from people that want to get in the trades, people that are in the trades and want to get better, maybe from journeymen that eventually want to open up their own plumbing company, and even from plumbing company owners that want to learn to do social media better to start making their phone ring. And it's really neat because, number one, I love what I do. And most of y'all that know me, most of y'all that come in here all the time, you see that, I do. I'm passionate about it. I care about it. I believe people getting into the trades, it gives them an opportunity to learn their way up. It gives them an opportunity to change the things that they're doing and the way they're going about doing it. Mr. Sean Strong in here, Editor Grayson, good to see y'all in here. Of course, we have Mr. William Rosebrock in the house. Amber Mendoza, love it. Monday Knowledge, here we go, getting ready for it. And the Nightbot, man, you gotta love it. Why is there a wrench on my name? Because, man, you're special. Makes it kind of neat. Actually, you're a moderator. You get to delete people, block comments. You got to be nice about it, but it is what it is. I like that. Amber Mendoza says, another new satisfied customer from YouTube. YouTube has been good to us. And I tell people all the time, look, I love YouTube. It is literally it's let us get a great message out there. We're trying to make the world a better place. We are trying to inform people about the trades, not just plumbing, but plumbing, electrical, HVAC, roofing, landscaping, window cleaning. There's so many people that, man, have an opportunity to come in and learn great things. And I think the trades have been fantastic for me, been fantastic for my family, but man, it's been really good because I've been able to come in and learn and grow. And I didn't go to college, so it's a little bit different for me. I've had a blast, though. Your friendly dealer, mod. Absolutely, we got a mod. Vominos Plumbing, I love that. Man, and it's neat that we got Austria in here and Australia. Man, we got the A's covered. I love it. We're getting a few questions over in the forum, so I'm going to jump over here and answer some of these. And that is number one. So there we go. Starting out, first one is from Martin. Says, how much money do you roughly get? Well, if I'm working as a gigolo, it's a no, I'm joking. I try to say it's a completely different pay scale. And if Julia's in here, I'm already in trouble. The funny thing is, it really, Martin, it depends on where you are in the country. And so what I can tell you is plumbers in Dallas, let's start with apprentices. Apprentices in Dallas in the union are starting right now at about $17 an hour. An open shop apprentice is probably starting out 12 to 14, 12 to 15. It kind of depends on, do they have any experience, what they want to do, what kind of plumber they want to be, who they go to work for. There's a lot of good things to learn that can help you get more money. But man, to be honest, that's probably pretty close in the ballpark right there all the way around. But I mean, think about it. You could literally walk out of high school, walk in as a plumber's apprentice, start a job, and literally, be making $34,000 a year your first year. Not too bad. Joshua McKnight says, do you know how to make good money in plumbing? Absolutely. And man, that is really, it's a great question, because this is one that I talk about a lot. And Joshua, I mean that. Thank you so much for asking it. And even that way, here's the deal, guys. The more you learn, the better you become at your trade, the more valuable you are. And I say that because, look, I joined the union 17 years after I started plumbing. I started plumbing in 1980. I joined the union in 97. And I moved up in the union because of my education, because of what I could do, because I learned to be a good foreman. I learned to be a good communicator. And I learned to communicate with general contractors and ask the right questions. You can make as much money pretty much in this career as you want to. What I mean by that is, you can work for people and move up to where you can literally, I guess, as an hourly person or a commission person, you can make, or a bonus employee, you can make anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 a year. And I know, because I've done it. Then if you want to make more, you can open your own company and grow into what you want to grow it into. But that's up to you. So do I know how to make good money in plumbing? Absolutely. I have probably made over $100,000 a year since 1999. I think that's the year that we worked a lot of overtime hours out at Texas Instrument. And then I moved on as a superintendent to other places, other companies. But I always found a way to bring value and make more money. So not a bad deal. Next question is Aiden Coates. Aiden says, what is the funniest prank you or a coworker has ever done on a new guy? Man, I got to give you a bad one that I did. And it's so funny because I thought about this the other day. It was so bad it scared me. And I know that's crazy, but man, we used to do a deal. And look, I'm going to say I know a guy who did this, because I would never do anything like this. But there was a guy on a job that took a 1-gallon Ziploc bag, and you can take an oxygen acetylene rig and set it to where it's glowing like it's supposed to, snub it out, and then use that to blow up a Ziploc baggie. So you take a 1-gallon baggie, you flatten it out, you seal it off except for one corner. You get your torch, you put it out, you blow up that bag, and it'll blow up where it looks like like a pillow. And then he, because I would never do anything like this, he laid this Ziploc bag down on the floor, took a book of matches and put it where, one was turned up, or not one, the cover was turned up, and then lit a cigarette and laid it on it so that when the cigarette burned down and it dropped, it would hit all those matches and make them, whoosh. Well, when that happened, it would burn a hole in the bag, and that big whoosh would make that whole bag explode. And I got to tell you, that will scare the purity mess out of you. It really, really will. So that's one of the craziest pranks I've ever seen done plumbing. And man, scared the mess out of me. Seth says, what is your opinion on Drano? I heard that it could corrode pipes and ultimately destroy them. I'm not going to tell you it'll corrode them. I'm going to tell you that they say, look, it's not an acidic, it's an alkaline. But I will tell you this. I've gone in houses that people are like, oh God, we've used Drano for years, and you run a camera down it and it's channel rot all the way down the bottom. So, man, I got to tell you, I'm not a big fan of it. I tell people not to use it. It kind of is what it is. So I don't like it. We don't recommend it. And I think there's a lot of things better. And I don't know how many of y'all saw this, but there's a comment there, and I don't know why it got retracted. I guess Will probably took it out. You see the Roger Wakefield shorts. Just want to let y'all know that we do have another YouTube channel. It's Shorts, and it's a great channel because it literally Liz, who's in here with me tonight, literally goes through there and finds some really good clips from some of the videos, and Liz and Will and Grayson, and they're cutting them and putting them in there, and man, it's pretty cool. But it's shorts. They're 25-second videos. They're clips out of it. It's a lot of fun. If y'all have not yet, man, jump over to Roger Wakefield Shorts, subscribe to it. And if Will's still in here, Will, if you want to put a link into it, that would be great, and see what we can make happen there. But guys, man, it's a cool one because it's short and quick. You get in, you get laughed, and you get done. Liz brought a question up here. Says, would starting out doing new construction residential benefit someone like myself who's brand new to get a better outlook on plumbing? Sonny, I'll go. The cool thing is we've got a video. If you go to just my YouTube channel, go to the top right corner, there's a link to the free mini course. And I ask people all the time, if you're thinking about getting in the trades, start there, because it'll ask you the questions to find out what kind of plumber you want to be. You want to be residential, commercial, new construction, service, union, non-union. There's a lot of great things that I ask to help you figure out what type plumber you want to be. Sorry, I looked down at Seabart 1987, says Farrah Fawcett, that's all. And we had so much fun doing that video. That was really cool. So anyway, check that out, see what you think, and check out the Shorts channel, not just the video from Garrison Brothers. Don't get me wrong, that was pure greatness. If y'all hadn't seen that, y'all need to go check it out. That was fantastic. Stephen Elbert says, what is the difference between a pipe fitter and a sprinkler fitter? A sprinkler fitter is normally a fire protection plumber, meaning it's smaller pipe, it's overhead, it's all that. A pipe fitter is probably welding, pipe fitting, stuff like that. Bigger pipe running chill water, heating water, process cooling, a lot of different things. But normally a pipe fitter normally is the guy getting stuff ready for the welder, getting it all put together, ready to go, and stuff like that. So pretty daggum cool. All right, jumping back over into the form. Braxton says, how does my dad fix our toilet bowl because it won't fill up completely with water? It could just be the bowl. There could be a lot of different things. It could be that the water level in the tank is down low enough. It's not getting enough down there. I mean, normally in the bowl, and if you say it won't fill up with enough water, is it fill it up with enough to flush it or what? There's a lot of different things that it could be. I always tell people, look, always start with your flush valve, your fill valve, see what the problem is there. If you don't mean the water level in your bowl, a lot of times that's just something you can't adjust. Tuber turds. Tuber turds of the world unite. And back in the forum real quick says, Taco says, do you like tacos? Absolutely. Yeah, who doesn't? Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. Ooh, that's a long question. Jump over here. What are some of the most common repairs that service plumbers do? Silky 86. Here's what we do most of. And it's pretty cool because it's what we want to do the most of. Slab leaks and slab leak repairs. That is such a big deal for us. Slab leak and slab leak repairs, because we find so many plumbers that don't do it right. They're not honest with people. They literally, the biggest thing about it is, man, they come in, they don't test. They literally just run a camera through it and say, hey, here's what it is. And a camera is not going to show you leaks. A camera may be able to find a major break, but a camera does not tell you if a system is leaking or not. Now, like I said, if it's a major break, yeah, it's real easy to say, no, there's not good there. So whatever the company's advertising for, really, whatever their SEO is built for, whatever kind of marketing they're doing, the funny thing about it, though, is at the end of the day, a residential service company fixes things in a house. If toilets are running, if faucets are dripping, if they need faucets or fixtures replaced, if they've got a stopped up sewer, if they have anything at all like that, it's just, man, it's kind of crazy, but we fix all the plumbing in the house. And the most common things are, for us, slab leaks, toilets, water heaters, things like that. That's probably the biggest. There's other ones that we do, but those are probably the most popular. Slab leaks and leak detection are our biggest things. So Silky 86, appreciate that. So let me run in this long question real quick. And I don't guess y'all saw the part where it says keep it short, please. Have you seen many incidents where HVAC has installed a heat pump system on top of an electric furnace? I have not. So you're in Canada, they do stuff like that. Yeah. You know what? And that's the thing is, look, you see a lot of crazy things if you're in plumbing long enough. You see stuff that you're just like, man, it is so crazy that anybody would even think about that. But, you know, different plumbers can do it different ways. Now, whenever I taught plumbers continuing education, it was really funny because I always start off the class and look, this building that we're in, because there were normally 43 people in my class, this building that we're in could be plumbed 43 different ways and it can all be right. And that's the truth. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but it could be right. It could pass code. There might be a more efficient way. There might be a smarter way. There might be a way that'll save more fixtures, more fittings. It'd be a way that might save more pipe. It may save more labor. You've got to look at it all different ways. Just because there are 43 different ways don't mean it's all good. So there are different HVAC techs and plumbers and electricians and roofers, and we all do things different. It doesn't mean it's the best way. So always look at what is the smartest way to do things. That's what you want to do. Sean Strong says there's so few slabs where I am. When Roger builds my house with a basement, I'll be glad to go to Texas. You know what? Julie and I went out last weekend looking at houses, and actually the house we looked at had a basement, and man, kind of pretty cool. Had the weight room down there, had a little bar and bistro area. I mean, it was really set up pretty neat. Okay, so Duke from the other stream want to get an update from the last stream. Turns out there was another vent for the upstairs toilet that was clogged. Still, I have to remove the old vent because it's too small for the full-size bathroom. You know, and sometimes, man, it takes a little more research to figure out what all the problems are. People send me messages all the time, and they're like, hey, tell me what's wrong. Man, you sent me one little question. You want me to resolve a problem halfway around the world, and I've got a million questions just to get it all figured out. So it's kind of funny, though. Now this is funny. Richard Richardson says, even though I have no clue about plumbing and I'm not planning to be one of your videos, not planning to, one of your videos give me so much courage with your attitude and really helped me through my midterm exams at college. Man, I'm glad I helped somebody get through any exams other than plumbing. And it really is funny because I have people tell me all the time, man, I love watching your videos. And it's like, really? So are you a plumber? You gonna be like, oh my God, no. But for some reason, there's just something about it. They're like, look, I like it. So pretty neat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, did that one there. I'm back over in the forum, everybody. Parker Pascusi. Hope I got that right. Saw Drain Addict's 500th video about a winch. Probably close. Pulley hydraulic powered helper Simon used to pull out a ton of roots when he tied a choke knot to the roots. Would you even think of using something like this? Also, hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. Thank you very much. And actually, we had a great Thanksgiving. Parker, here's what I'll tell you. And it's really funny because I've used something similar. I didn't have a winch, didn't need it at the time. But literally what we did was a guy had mowed in the past, broke a clean out off at his house and never thought about it. Well, he broke it off just below the ground. So, dirt came in, but also he had a tree and bushes runner. And literally by the time I got there were so many roots in it. I mean, and I just happened to find it because he's like, I don't know what to do. Well, I went out, cut everything loose. I said, we have Neil, the urban explorer in the house. Good to have you here, brother. And if y'all aren't subscribed to Neil's channel, you need to. Man, what he's doing in that van is freaking cool. I wanted to know the other day, Neil, I love your videos. Anyway, sorry, Parker, back to your question. Literally what I did is I had a rock bar in the van. So I drove a rock bar in the van about 4 feet away from this 90 that had been busted off. I took a ratchet strap and literally I wove it through the roots, wrapped around it, made it where the more it pulled, the tighter it got. And I would ratchet it tight, and then I'd go over and bounce on it while I'm holding onto the rock bar. So it'd kind of pull it out just a little bit. I'd ratchet strap it a little tighter, bounce on it again. It took me a while, but I'm telling you, I got it out. And this was back before cameras and stuff like that were in everybody's pocket, but I had fun. I pulled out about 6 feet of roots, extended it up, capped it off. Everything was great. Turned out to be wonderful. Baron Bogosian, how are you doing? Says, hi, Roger. I'm a chemical engineer working at a refinery. We just recently had a water heater boiler explosion. 600 PSI and 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, superheated water vapor. No one was injured. Well, number one, man, congrats that nobody was injured because that can be dangerous. What type? I'm checking. Is this a water heater? Okay, a boiler. So over 200,000 BTUs. Man, how big a tank was it? That is crazy. And actually, we've got a subreddit. Everybody in here, if y'all don't know about it yet, go over to Reddit, look for Roger Wakefield posts, any pictures, any videos, anything at all like that that you can send us. We used to do it through email, and literally I need to set up an auto reply on it saying, hey, look, we're not doing it on email anymore. We were getting so many pictures and videos and links to everything in our email that, I mean, man, it bogged my email down. So what we're doing now is go over and post it on Reddit, post it on that subreddit, Roger Wakefield posts, and we will do what we can. Will goes through them, picks them out. Matter of fact, I believe we've got a video coming up this Friday, don't we, Will? That is Reddit, just last Friday. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and check them out and see what you think. But yeah, guys, yeah, if you will, man, if we like it, yeah, number one, go check that out and you'll see kind of what we're doing. But if you'll go put pictures or videos in there, that's where we find them. That's where we bring them in. And I love it. Sean Strong is moving up in the world. Gotta love it. All right. So Parker, thank you very much. And yes, Parker, I did. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Me and the lovely Miss Julie did. Jack Carlton. Why, when I turn on the garbage disposal, water comes out the other side? Uh, what you've got is you've got a blockage probably in the P-trap. So you're trying to force water out so fast and it's not going through the P-trap. So it's coming up the other side. You probably need to take your drain apart, try and clean that out. And we've done a video about that. I think our Orbeez one, we showed people how to take the drain apart, clean it out, and do stuff like that. I know. I got one back here on the wall. I'm showing off my Longhorns today. Sorry about that, Neil. Anyway, Jack, yeah, clean that drain out because eventually it'll clog up and you'll have problems that you're really not going to like. Alexander, can a standing seam metal roof channel have a place on YouTube? Absolutely. It's funny, Alexander, because actually Wednesday I'm leaving to go to Orlando. You need to check out Roofing Insights, a guy named Dimitri. And I'm actually going to speak at a roofing conference in Orlando Thursday and Friday. Yeah, man, he does good on YouTube. And I say good, he does pretty good on YouTube. And there's always room to get better. I tell people, look, you can do better than me on YouTube any day of the week. A lot of people could. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. And most people don't want to put that in. And look, I get it. But yeah, man. And to me, a standing metal seam roof or standing seam metal roof, man, I've always wanted one of those. So it's like, okay, that to me would just be cool. Man, I would love that. I mean, see, that's the kind of stuff I would watch. So I think that could be cool. Schwarzgeister's in the house. Good to have you in here. Never come to the Czech Republic. We use shark bites almost everywhere, but we made them so good that they never leak. You know what? And here's my thing is I tell people all the time, like, I wouldn't have any problems with shark bite if we weren't out fixing leaks on them all the time. The fact that we do have problems and they leak and it costs homeowners a lot of money. It's a lot of big problems. Yeah, that's something that's why we don't like it. And Barron says it was a 1,000 gallon tank. Sounded like a car bomb went off. Apparently there was a lot of corrosion around the weld seams. It's a cylindrical tank. And man, number one, that is scary. 1,000 gallon tank blowing up like a bomb. I mean, plumbers over here in the United States, think about this. We deal with 50 gallon tanks and 100 gallon tanks. And you get into a 1,000 gallon boiler. And I've worked on some big ones like that out at like Lockheed Martin and stuff. Man, that is just crazy. I want to see the guys on Mythbusters sit on top of that when it explodes.
Yeah, they did an episode where they blew up a water heater and they had to literally go through 3 or 4 different fail-safe mechanisms and disable them to get it to blow up. That's what they said that's why they, I think, busted it, is because they had to do so much tinkering to get it to actually blow up. So this is crazy that this boiler blew up.
That's wild, isn't it? That is wild. Boom, that was easy. Perfect. Yeah. Again, Schwarzkaiser, and like you're in here a lot, complete respect. My whole thing is, if they made the product better, I wouldn't have any problem with it. Push together fittings don't bother me at all. Push together fittings that leak all the time, I don't believe in them. So that's why I do it the way I do it, and that's why I talk about it the way I do. Here's a good one. Zachary Sargas says, how long did it take your business to grow? Zachary, luckily for me, man, I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. I like to get out and talk with people. I like to do a lot of things. What worked for me is getting out, getting in front of different companies, people that needed plumbers, and get out and talk to them, and introduce myself, and offer to come back and teach their staff about plumbers and plumbing and things like that. The the cool thing about it for me is I was doing that while I learned to network, and I was networking and meeting people there. So that was making my phone ring. Then I started doing Reddit. Then I started doing YouTube and LinkedIn to help grow my community and build a following. And man, it didn't take long. Our first full year in business, we did $1 million a year. And we stay there or above it, that general area. We're normally between a $1 and a $1.2 million year every year, but we're starting to get things in place to where we can grow even more. We've got a new marketing company and I had a meeting with them today. I'm ecstatic with them. Sorry about that, guys. Needed a little sip of water. So, Mr. Zachary, that's the deal. Not too very long. Kathia says, my mom refuses to stop using baby wipes in the bathroom. It's already cost her $900 in plumbing repairs. Is there a plumbing safe wipe out there that you'd recommend to stubborn customers? And man, I love this. Kathia, I hope I said your name right. There actually is, and I was looking to see if I had a pack of them in here, and I don't. I've done a test, okay? I believe in the Cottonelle flushable wipes. And the reason being, they had asked me, I got a call from my publicist one day saying, hey, look, we had a company reach out wanting to know if you do a SMT, a satellite media tour. See, there Sean goes. And the cool thing about it is I said, yeah, sure. Oh my gosh. Who is it? And they said, well, it's Cottonelle. It's like, oh my God, look, I love Cottonelle's toilet paper. And they said, well, it's the Cottonelle flushable wipes. And I'm like, man, I don't know. But I got to tell you, I went and bought some. I didn't even let them ship them to me. I went and bought 3 different packages. I tested them in here. Actually had cups of water here. At home, I had a pie pan, or had 2 pie pans, and we let them set in it. So, Kathia, here's what I'll tell you. Cottonelle flushable wipes dissolve. And what you can do is put them in there, let them sit overnight, and then the next morning, see what happens. And literally, when you pull the Cottonelles out, they fall apart like toilet paper. Now, I did this, and I put baby wipes in another cup, another pie pan. That way I'm testing them side by side. And the baby wipes, literally, you had to pull really, really hard to get them to come apart. Here's the thing. Baby wipes have plastic fibers in them to keep them together. The Cottonelle don't. They're paper fibers. They dissolve. They make everything work. It really is cool, and it works. So as you see, Joe Everest is in here. Love him. Another guy, another channel you need to go check out. Subscribe to Joe Everest. He builds fences, and it's really, really cool. Says he received his Roger Wakefield mask over the weekend. He actually sent me a picture of it. Here he is, the mask that we've got done in our merch. Pretty cool. Joe, thank you very much. That was funny seeing that. And guys, I got to tell you, I love that mask because I literally, when Julie and I go out, that's what I wear. And people laugh about it. And it is, you got to admit, it's pretty funny. But Joe, I appreciate it. You're a beautiful man now. So thank you very much. Quanlan Vos says, worked at a factory in the States that had a boiler blow, shook the entire factory, busted metal plate, was laying outside, concrete containment. Man, that is sad. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, here's the deal is it's kind of hard to go in and do maintenance on a boiler and see what's wrong, what's not wrong, and whatnot. The cool thing about it is, man, the way they're designed, they're not supposed to blow like that. And there's safety things in place, like should be like pop-offs, relief valves, different things like that. But the crazy thing about it is you got to keep an eye on it. Anything and everything, you got to watch it. You got to see, is there something wrong? Is there and we talked about the contamination on the welds and stuff like that. Man, got to check it out and see what's happening. So, Juan Lanvos, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And man, anytime y'all can get pictures or videos like that, and I hate to say that, but I love sharing that video or picture with other plumbers so they can learn and see how dangerous it really can be. Because there's a lot of plumbers that'll tell you, oh God, that'll never happen. Yeah, it can. Young Roger Wakefield wigs in the future. That's pretty good. No, you probably won't. But then again, there's mullet wigs out there, and I had a mullet at one point. Kobe Vargas says, I really wanted to know what your mic is. Thank you. We've got a link in that somewhere in our description, don't we? This is the Rode Podcaster. Yeah, there should be a link in the description that'll take you to the exact one that we have. Kobe, look, I got to tell you, man, I love it. I used to have a black Yeti or a blue Yeti, and the blacked out version. I still got it. Matter of fact, I guess I will be back here Monday. I've got to do a Zoominar for VidFest Thursday, and I'll be doing it from Orlando because that's where I'm going to be speaking to roofers at Roofing Insights. So, man, living the dream, running like crazy. But this is a Rode podcast, Rode PodMic. And man, we love it. It's a XLR, not a USB. So you've got to have either a Shure recorder or a mixer. And we've also got the Rode mixer. Love it. And I think we've got a link for it too. Tristan Doak says, I'm 16, not sure what to do for my career. Why should I be a plumber? Well, I'm not going to tell you why you should be, but I will tell you this. Go to my free mini course and go through it. And like I said, it's free. But that'll ask you things to find out, what kind of plumber you might want to be. And you may go through it and say, hey, none of this intrigues me, so I don't like it at all. The only two things I know you don't want to do are build fences and hang drywall. I'm joking. I thought that was pretty funny though.
Or live in a van. You don't want to live in a van.
Or live in a van. I'll just piss off all my mods real quick. The funny thing about it is that there's so many different things about plumbing. You can build a new building, commercial or residential. You can do the service work on it, meaning you go and figure out what the problems are and fix them. So there's a lot of different opportunities. It's hard for me to tell you why you should be a plumber. I'll just tell you this. Look, I love what I do. I've had a wonderful career. We got a new member. Oh, speaking of new members, starting next Monday, the last hour is members only. And what that means, if I'm not mistaken, and Will, you can correct me, I believe that the last hour, only members can comment. And this way here, they can get in, they can chat. It's a little more one-on-one, great way to visit and things like that. Other people can watch the video. They just can't chat. They can't ask questions. They can't do that. And Will's nodding yes, so I'm assuming that means I'm right. I love it when I'm right. It doesn't happen very often, so I want somebody to write this down. Dad Jones, thank you for the super chat. Doing level 1 at college in the UK at the moment. You helped me out a lot doing an offset copper frame with bends tomorrow. Any top tips for me to know? Man, here's the deal. Look, I love copper. I love working with it. But with bends and a copper frame, I'm not sure what you mean by the frame, but the bends, look, just know your formulas. I never did a lot of tubing bending. I did before I figured out that there were formulas to help you do it amazing. My son was really good at it. Remember, I didn't come up through the union training program. I came up open shop and then got in the union later. But man, I got to tell you, when you get somebody that knows how to bend and knows the measurements and the layout and all that, man, that to me, that is beautiful work. I think it's fantastic. Al says, I'm not a plumber, but love your videos, and my son is in the Army. Well, number one, thank you for your son. Thank you for the service he's doing for our country. His MOS is plumbing. So I've been watching your videos so I can better understand plumbing. I like that. And like I have plumbers or military people contact me all the time about getting into the trades, not just plumbing, but all the trades. The union has some good training programs with his GI Bill where it'll supplement his income while he goes through an apprentice training program. So there's a lot of cool deals there. Man, that's wonderful, though. It's neat. Thank you so much. Nikolai Sophus Berthelson, welcome to the Tuber Turds. Being a Tuber Turd is cool, and here's the deal. Number one, you get the cool emojis that Will designed. He did a great job on that. And you know, the other cool thing is you're going to get special time. And we've been talking about it for a while. We finally decided we'll start it next week, first week of December. And what that's going to be is the last hour of the video, the last hour of the live. It'll be, everybody will be able to see it and hear it, but only the members will be able to get in, comment, chat, and stuff like that. You'll still be able to put questions in the forum, but literally we're going to try to spend more time in the chat at that point. So literally the first hour and a half will be the forum. Then we'll roll over into the chat more. And I mean, and it's really not that much to be a member. So if it's something you want to do, just jump in there and do it, and you'll be fine. All right. Vic Mitchum says, Roger, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on side jobs for cash? I can make more doing a side job than the $18 an hour I get paid with my regular plumbing job. You know, here's what I'll tell you about that is be careful. And not sure where you're at, but like if a license is required, if permits are required, if different things like that are required and you're not doing it, you can get in trouble depending on where you're at. Here in Texas, man, the board will crack down on you if they know about it. It's not something you want. It can show up as discrepancies against your license from now on or disciplinary actions. So it's not good. Man, be careful about it. And if anything ever does happen where you needed insurance and you didn't have it, man, I would hate that to happen because then they can turn around and sue you and it can lead to big, big problems. Muslim Plumbers in the house, welcome back. Good to see you in here. Thank you for the super chat. It says, what do you guys use to snake tubs and shower drains? I use the rigid power. Yeah, we do too. We actually, I mean, to be honest, I need to get the bigger rigid handheld. Man, I've got the little ones that I mean, God, you can get for $40-$50. But man, I don't worry about the guys tearing them up. They get out, they use them 5 or 10 times, they throw them away and get another one. I love it. One thing that I'm wanting to get to is that air snake. I've been talking to Ferguson about that. I'm really, really looking forward to it. See, I don't know. Electronic Shadow says, wait, there's only 110 people. You know, I invited everybody in the world. I don't know why they didn't come. Did you invite 110 people? So anyway, Vic, man, brother, be careful. The only side jobs I used to do were for my family because I knew that everything was going to be okay there. It's not anything you want to get in the habit of. If you ever get caught and they come in and put a disciplinary action against your license. I mean, man, I look at people's license every time I hire them, and most people don't want anything at all like that. Jared says, how would you treat the nasty nightmare apartment call if you got it today? like I've had jobs that I would not go in, and I hate to say it that I would not do. I've changed a lot since then, but when I go in and people have a stopped up toilet and they're still using it and they don't care, it's like, look, if you don't care, I don't care. So, man, I have refused to do jobs before. I don't do it very often, but man, it does get done sometimes. Neil put a link in there to the merch, and that's where, guys, Joe bought the mask, and I got to tell you, we love it. I've had so much fun with that, wearing it out in public, and it's really funny because when I walk in, people look at it and laugh. Then, like, if they come up to the table, they're like, "Oh my God, that was you," and it's like, "Yeah, it was." So it's kind of cool. Adam, and man, I just happened to scroll down to your question. I can tell you no. It says, "Have you ever sent an apprentice into a nasty situation because you didn't want to do it?" Man, I'm one of these. It doesn't bother me. Uh, I've maybe laughed at some apprentices because there's certain things they would do or wouldn't do, but no, there's nothing I'm going to send anybody in to do that I wouldn't do. Uh, man, I've never been like that, and I actually enjoy it. Tellis says, I want to shift to plumbing as a career, but I'm finding it difficult to get hired on somewhere. What do you suggest is the most important thing to do to get hired quickly? And there's a lot of things to do, and I've made videos on it. Number one, depending on, figure out what kind of plumber you want to be, commercial, residential, service, new construction. Go to my free mini course, figure that part out. But then the thing is, if you're wanting to do commercial, drive around downtown, look what big jobs are going on, figure out what plumbing companies are doing them. Then, if you want to do residential, say service, uh, look and see what companies are advertising on TV or wherever that they're doing work. Guys, those are the ones that literally probably are getting the most work in town, and it's a great way to get in touch with them. So, Telesico, best way to go right there. And we got a super chat from Lewis Millward. Lewis, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Would you say it's worth hiring an apprentice full time after he graduates from a small firm? I say small. After the graduates, after a small firm. Here's the deal. I love hiring apprentices because then I can train them to be the kind of plumber I want them to be. And whether they went to trade school or work for another company or anything like that, I'll take them green, and I'll take them with experience. If they've got experience, I want to hear about the experience. I want an apprentice that comes in and, man, if he's been fired a lot, he's a man, look, I've made a lot of mistakes. I get fired. But I'm ready to grow up. I'm ready to try something different. I've seen apprentices come in here and they're like, well, I've had 12 different jobs, but I'm going to tell you why it's all 12 of them's fault that I'm no longer there. And, my thing is, look, I went through a lot of jobs when I was a young apprentice, but I also know that I wanted to be in a situation where I could learn. So what I will tell you, Lewis, is it doesn't matter to me where they've worked. It doesn't matter to me what kind of experience they've had. I want to hire them for character. If they're young and I hire them because they're a good character, because they say the right things, it sounds like they really, really want to work. They want to do what I want them to do. And to me, I like that because I can train them to be a great plumber. And man, I've got two guys now that I think are going to be two of the best plumbers in Dallas. And I love their attitude. I love what the mindset that they came to work here with. And man, I'm excited about it. So I think they're great. Oh. Marco says, what is the most expensive tool you have ever bought? My wife. The most expensive tool I've ever bought is the rigid, and that's not. Yeah, I guess it is. Tough one. It's either my rigid Pro Press because I bought the Mega Press. I bought everything with it. That or a sewer camera, and I need to buy 2 or 3 more right now. So a little bit of both, just for a one-time purchase of a hand tool, the rigid Pro Press and the Mega Press, and I bought it all at the same time. That was a big investment for me at the time. It was still a small plumbing company trying to grow, so it was tough. But we turned around, made our money back on one job. So on the Pro Press, it was really, really worth it.
Yeah, but those sewer cameras over time have cost you probably more than that.
Yeah, the sewer cameras, man, it's bad because here's the deal. I had a sewer camera for 2 years, never a problem. When you hire other people, they don't take care of your tools like you do. And I don't mean that bad about the plumbers I got or anything like that. But what I will tell you is it's a tough thing to know that you're putting a $8,000 tool in somebody's hands, and when you go out to the van, it's just thrown in the back like it's a water hose. And man, it keeps it real in your head because you see how people treat your stuff, and then they come and get mad. They're like, "Well, man, we need another camera." It's like, wait. What about that $8,000 camera you threw in the back of the truck like a bale of hay? You've really got to keep an eye on things and watch your tools. And look, like I said, I think I've got some of the best plumbers right now. I've got one of the best crews I've ever had, and they definitely treat things a lot better. But I mean, I have had people that literally, man, when they pulled up, you could just go up in the back of their van and it looked like the camera started in the back and rolled all the way to the front. So yeah, it's a little bit different. Yeah, Marcus. Yeah, and Will's right. Over the long term, those cameras cost you a lot of money from putting them in the shop and getting them repaired, which I thought was funny because I never had to put one in the shop until I started hiring other people. Then it was like, man, what are y'all? Are you using my camera as a boomerang or something? Because putting them in a shop once a week seems like it. All right. Hunter says, how big of a problem is it if a cast iron sewage pipe in a basement is leaking? It connects to the toilet, sink, and tub. Well, Hunter, if it's in the basement and it's leaking, that means you're getting raw sewage dripping in the basement floor. That's something I would want to fix. I would definitely want to fix it. I guess Sean Strong jumped out. Brother, if you're still in here, just want to say thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Good to have you here as always. Got another super chat in from Baron again. Baron, thank you very much. Says, once a girlfriend's come over for dinner. Apparently my steak and potatoes did not sit well with her. She used my toilet, clogged it. Took me all night to get it unclogged. She never called back. So one of my favorite movie scenes, and Brandon, thanks for sharing because I love that. One of my favorite movie scenes is, and Julie can tell you the name of the movie. It's either like Hall Pass or 40-Year-Old Virgin or whatever it was. And it's so funny because the guy brings this lady home and she's had a little bit to drink. And she sits on the side of the tub and he's sitting there talking to her because she felt like she was going to get sick. And he's sitting there talking to her, and all of a sudden she sharted. And if you don't know what it is, you need to go find the scene in the movie because literally you could tell that she had on Hall Pass. Thank you, Julie. You could tell that she had on like T-back anal floss underwear because when she sharted, the shart. See, I've had channels demonetized for less than this. Literally, the bathtub wall was nice and clear in one spot, and then shart splattered on both sides. And I gotta tell you, because it's funny, because right after she sneezes and takes care of business all at the same time, and all of a sudden she's like, ooh, I think I feel better now. Or you ready to get frisky? And it's like, So anyway, it was great. I loved it. So Brian, thank you very much. I understand why she never called back. Maybe that's good for you. Just saying. And then again, how bad of a cook are you if it messed her up that bad? Lots of different ways to look at that one. Luckily, I have an angel that Julie, whenever we were dating, and seriously dating, so we'd been dating for a while. Literally, she left the house one night and she's just like, "Look, I got a stomach ache. I'm leaving." It's like, "No, you can stay here." She's like, I'm going home." So yeah, Julie, thank you for not stopping up my toilets. Aiden says, what to do if no water is in any sink, toilet, or shower? Something's either valved off, turned off. There could be a whole lot of different things that could be. So, man, there's a lot of things to go through to figure out what it is. I tell you what, and I've seen pictures that we've had. I don't know if I've told you yet. We've got a subreddit, Roger Wakefield Posts. You should go check it out. I'm thinking it may have even been on there. I don't remember if it was emailed or what, but somebody sent me a picture of a water line that had filled up with roots, and it had got so packed. Yeah, Vincent says turn on the water. It's kind of what I thought. Maybe it's valved off somewhere. What I'll ask you is Aiden, has water been onto it before and just all of a sudden it stopped, it quit, it didn't come anymore? Or is this a house that you're looking at buying or something like that and just there's no water there? Different ways to look at it. Look at that. Neil says Paul Peck hit 130,000 subscribers today. Guys, look, there's certain people. Urban Explorer, Neil's phenomenal. Paul Peck, Drywall Tube. He is a great drywaller, and his videos are phenomenal. Joe Everest, the fence guy. Go over and subscribe to these channels. These people are really good people. And their videos are great. Their channels are great. So anyway, make sure that those are the kind of people that you follow, you like, you do a lot of different things to make sure that, man, it's really cool. When you follow them, you watch what they do, you see what they do. Look, Paul Peck's phenomenal. And to see what he does and the way he does it, I've learned a lot from him. I've learned a lot from Neil. Don't tell Neil, though. He kind of gets a big head. But, watching these guys and the way they do things, it's phenomenal. Headed right here. What is the best way to deal a house? Deal with a house water main valve that is seized and won't turn off. Baron, that's really good. And here's what I'll tell you. If it's the one out at the meter, because we've run into that before, call the city. Don't jack with it. Let the city come take care of their business. If it's a ball valve or a gate valve at the house, number one, if it's a gate valve and it's seized, I tell them we won't even mess with it. Even if it's a gate valve and it's not seized, I tell them, look, if this thing breaks loose, if the paddle and the stem separate, we can't turn your water back on. You're going to have to replace this anyway. I tell them, look, we got to replace them. We've got to do this. We got to do that. But I don't mess with them. I just tell them, let's shut it off at the meter. We'll replace it. Everything will be good there. All right. Bryston. I like that name. In my second last year of high school, looking to start an apprentice in plumbing or electrical, and was wondering, do they just care if you have a diploma or do they look for specific courses that I should take? And really, Bryston, this is a great question because, to be honest, they don't care. And I don't mean that bad. They just want to make sure that you have graduated high school. Oh, you are an angel, Julie. They want to make sure you graduated high school. They want to make sure you've got your diploma. Now, I will tell you, math, drafting, drawing, shop class, anything like that that you can take that'll help you learn how to read a tape measure, learn how to look at drawings, learn how to draw, learn how to use shop tools, anything at all that you can learn that'll help set you apart and get you in a better position, it's going to help you. So, definitely look at things like that. If you have the opportunity to take classes like that, it will help you. It was good for me because the cool thing about it was what I had to do, I had learned in shop. I learned how to use a tape measure. I learned how to use a lot of hand tools. So whenever I walked out on a plumbing job, I already knew how to do a lot of it. And that was really pretty cool. And I'd never taken plumbing, but I knew how to use power tools. I knew how to use saws. I knew how to read a tape measure. I knew how to cut. There were a lot of things that I already knew how to do. So it really benefited me a lot. Good way to look at it, though. I like that. To rack, I do not like discords. Man, discords wear me out. And I don't know if it's just because I don't know what I'm doing or what. Man, just could not do it. I thought I saw another one here. I wanted to. Yeah, you say it'd be more popular than Reddit, but I got to tell you, the what's good about the Reddit is people go over there, they post videos, they post pictures. Other plumbers and people in our groups get over there and follow and like it, don't like it, comment, good, bad, stuff like that. And really, man, it helps a lot. So that's what we did that for. Man, I've tried joining other people's Discord, and it was a pain for me. So, man, it just did not happen. Travis. Does Roger have a problem with Uponor drop ears coming loose from the 2x6 backing when I'm using them for shower heads? I think what is happening is that the wood dries and the screws wiggle, and you've got a video of the issue. Cool. I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you this. Post that video, Travis, over on the Reddit that we're talking about, and then I can see it there. And I'll try to remember to go in, but as we go back through these, a lot of times it's hard to find an exact link to a video and this and that. So what I would do is go over there and post it on the subreddit, show it to me over there, and I see those all the time, so that's pretty cool. I see we have another. Thank you for the super chat from Baron. I know, man. Baron, come on. I'm not trying to take all your money, brother. This isn't a poker game. Love donating to your channel. How do you get a broken metal snake out of a cast iron drain line? Possible ways to extract it from it being snagged. Man, Baron, that's a tough one. And I tell you, there's not a good way. I have literally had to cut one at the wall and then try to run a plastic pipe in around it, like a PEX or an Uponor, run it in around it so it can kind of seal it and move it and stuff like that. I have just fought and tugged and pulled. I mean, think about it. A snake is bad. What about when you've got channel rot and a camera head drops under it? You can't get it out. We've had to dig under and pull them out before. I mean, dig in the pipe, cut it open, undo everything and pull it out. And I mean, at that point, you're telling people, look, there's a break. We know there's a break. We know, we saw it right before our camera fell into it. We need to tunnel under there and give them a price, and hopefully they say, okay, let's go. So there's not an easy way. But, I mean, I have pulled on it so hard that, eventually we got them out. It's probably not good because if the heads drop down in pipe, it's going to crack the pipe a little bit more, but apparently it's already broke or it will not be doing it. Now, I like this. Nikolai says, use a spring snake, put it in reverse and see if it can unthread. And I've tried that before. And gently pull back while you do it. Because I've had them unthread far enough, and then it got to the point where the blades hit the opening and came back. And look here, we have Mr. Ruan Marino in the house. Good to have you here, brother. So y'all heard me talking earlier about my new SEO guy. Of course, it's Ruan Marino over at Develomark. And, man, it's been great for my channel. Say for my channel, for my page, our website is literally, man, our domain authority is going up. We're found on first page for Dallas, Texas plumbing. There's a lot of cool stuff going on to make that happen. So, Ruan, good to see you in here, brother. Thank you so much. Inspired you to grow yours, dude. You've kicked my tail for years. Yeah, we were just bragging on you. So no, you're doing great, brother. I love what you're doing with yours. That's another one. If y'all want to learn about SEO and marketing for your company, whether it be now or in the future, go over to Ruan Marino's channel, subscribe, watch what he does. And he's actually made videos talking about the things he's done for us to help get us where he has. So it is fantastic. Jackson, been doing great. How about you? Doing fantastic. Back to the deal here about Travis. Travis, I'd worry about the wood that I'm using and the screws I'm using. There's a lot of different things. Drop rails coming loose are not good, especially for a shower head like that, because you don't want that shower head moving around. The thing that I would think about is if that's a problem, maybe you may want to go a copper riser there. That way it's soldered. It'll keep it from turning or anything like that. And maybe it's just people moving it. I don't know. But I will tell you this, that's not something you want happening. So I would be looking at the wood I'm using for backing. I would be looking at the screws I'm using. What can you do to secure that to make sure it never moves? Because I got to tell you, I've been in houses where I've put the shower head in 25, 28 years ago, and man, they still don't move. So that's one that would kind of bug me. Ruan, good to have you in here, brother. All right, back over in the forum real quick. And guys, remember, if y'all got questions, please jump over in the forum. There's a link up top. If you'll go over in the forum, put your question in there. I guarantee we'll get to it. These in the chat, man, sometimes we get to them, sometimes we don't, but we do try. Justin says, I live just down the street from your shop. We spoke about 2 years ago, and because of that, I'm halfway to getting my journeyman license. My question is, how many people have you personally made into journeyman and beyond? You know what? And Justin, number one, congratulations to you. Man, I really, I think that is so cool. And I love hearing these stories. The thing is, I don't know. Whenever I was an instructor in the union, I literally, I had it made. I got to teach anywhere from 20 to 40 new students a year. And I did that for about 4 years. I loved it. I love being an instructor. I love teaching plumbing. I love teaching people about the why. Why do you want to be the best plumber? Why do you want to be the best apprentice? Why do you want to do the things that you do? And to me, man, I think that's amazing. I love the fact that I can help people learn a trade. I love the fact that I can help people learn that, look, if you don't go to college, it doesn't mean your life's over. It means, look, you're going to find a different way. And I like it because getting out and doing that, getting out and learning how to use your hands, how to help people. And tell me this, Justin, are you in commercial? Are you in residential? Are you in service? Are you in new construction? What are you doing? Because the opportunity is there to do so many different things. And I'm just curious as to which way you went. Baron, again, I got to love it. Baron says, I make $100 an hour with my degree in chemical engineering working at the refinery. I love that. Plus, you drive around an old $1,200 truck. Love giving back to you. Also went to school for automotive. And look, I love that. Baron, thank you so much. Guys, look here. As a chemical engineer is making $100 an hour, and I'm telling y'all, I really think plumbers in the next 5 years or so are going to be up around there. And I say it because of supply and demand. Now, Baron, look, I love people that go to college and end up, like you said, with your degree in chemical engineering. And I worked out at Texas Instruments for years. So I worked with some really good chemical engineers. I work with some good mechanical engineers, hydromechanical engineers, all kinds of different people. And man, I love it. And this is why I tell people about you can get in the trades and still have a good living. And I remember taking a test when I was in, God, it may have been my first year of middle school, 6th grade. I remember taking a test, and it was an evaluation to you what kind of person you may be, what kind of trade you may be, what kind of skill set you may have. And mine came back and said engineer. Now, remember, this is 1976, and I'm literally thinking, I do not want to drive trains around the rest of my life. So the funny thing about it is I literally, I did it. I was like, okay, I'm not going to be an engineer because I don't want to drive trains. And I did that. And that was the exact thought that I had, is I'm basing my whole thing on something that I don't even know. So I tell people all the time, like, you can go to college, you can have a great career, but if you don't, it doesn't mean your life's over. You can learn about a trade, you can get into a trade, and you can do really, really well. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I love looking at it that way. And thank you for donating. I appreciate that too. Next one is from Ruan Marino. As I told you, DeveloMark. Guys, this is my marketing guy, and he is phenomenal. And actually, it's funny because we talked today because I'm wanting to make a video about what he's done for me, how he's done it, and what is done for our business. So I'm looking forward to it. It says, as Roger's SEO guy, I will donate $500 to his channel if we get 100 Google reviews during this live. And I can tell y'all, he already knows exactly how many there are now. So he'll be watching it close. So here's what you got to do. Just if y'all want to do this, go to Google, put in Dallas, Texas plumbing, scroll down to where it's us, or he can give you the link. Or there's a Google link. Go to the Google listing. That's how you do it. See, I messed it up already. Will, do you have that link? Okay, Will's going to find that link and put it in there. If you and I like the way you said that. Only if you've learned anything of value from this channel. So, if you go over there and click on this link, just say, hey, look, I love this because, Roger has taught me so much about plumbing, about this part, and put that in. And that helps me. It helps Texas Green Plumbing. But man, Ruan, thank you very much. I love what you're doing for me. You have literally set our channel apart, our webpage apart from so many channels in this area. And it's because you care about what you do and the way you do it. And I really do. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Back over here in the forum, I've got more questions. Mohamed Badaway says, my tub stopper broke loose in the closed position. And see, again, I would tell you to go to the subreddit and put it in there, because here's what I need to see. Is it the trip lever kind? Is it the lift and turn kind? What kind I'm assuming it's the lift and turn, but you need to take those screws out, look inside and see where did it come apart? Did it come apart down low? Did it come apart up high? I've had some of those that it's taken me 2 or 3 hours to fish it out. I've had some that I was able to get it out in like 5 minutes. It all depends on how it goes, but it can be very expensive either way, whichever way it goes. Los Angeles says the Nightbot has daddy issues. That's pretty funny. And see, the subreddit put it in right, or the Nightbot put it in right there. There's the link to the subreddit. And Will is looking for that link to the Google review. The neat thing is 84 likes and 120 watching. Yeah, see, something's wrong in there. See, Bart, I appreciate that. who is disliked. Jackson, that's always left by the handymen that come in here. That they don't like me very much. But it's okay. I love them. One day they're going to grow up and be a tradesman or a plumber or something. All right. So Ashley B3 says, what is your opinion of electric water heaters and which brand? And I like this because we actually do water heaters all the time. We do gas, we do electric, we do tankless. I love electric water heaters because a lot of times you'll have houses that are electric only. They don't have gas. I love my big thing is Bradford whites are what we use. It's what we recommend. And there's a reason. And the whole big reason is, number one, they're American made. Number two, you can always get parts for them. It's easy to get parts, but their warranty, the way they stand behind things, they take care of people. And if y'all know me and my company, you know we are all about customer service. Customer service is huge to me. And I agree, Julie. Is she talking tank or tankless? And I'm not sure. So Ashley B3, if you're still in here, tell us if you're talking tank or tankless. And I'll cover it either way. Most people don't say, hey, I have an electric water heater. I want to get rid of it and put gas in, unless they've added gas to the house. Now they have outlets. Now they have different things like that. Now, tankless is a little bit different. Tankless literally has, somebody's got to stop posting links. Unless it's you, it's kicking out. The thing is, if it's an electric tankless, and actually, I don't know if you're in here. I keep looking down here trying to see. An electric tankless, you've normally got to have more power than most people have, meaning you may have to upgrade your panel. You may have to do a lot of different things in order to get to it. And it makes it tough because here's what happens to it. And if you're talking tankless, I want you to think about this. What is the maximum flow? And I say that because the way tankless water heaters work, they slow the flow restriction down to heat the water up hot enough in a certain amount of time. So the problem that we run into is, and I did this, I went in, a lady asked me to install a tankless water heater, and we installed it. And she called me and she says, hey, I'm not getting hot water. Well, we went over and looked at it. She had just taken out the tank out of her house and we literally just installed the tankless in a blank spot. She had already pulled the tank out because it had flooded her house. So whenever we put it in, we just put it in because that's what she had ordered. We put it in and literally, did you see that super chat, Will? Okay. No, you're good. So what we ended up doing is I said, well, look, what all are you trying to get it? Show me where. She takes me upstairs. She had just installed this new bathroom, a new custom shower that had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 heads. And I said, well, no wonder you're not getting hot water. You've got to look at the flow. What is your maximum GPH, GPM, gallons per minute? You've got to count your heads. You've got to know how much hot water you need. So there's a lot of questions to ask there. But look, I love tankless. I love electric water heaters. It doesn't matter. Here's the deal. Most people aren't just going to swap things around. It is what it is. I love the Bradford White brand. And what I like about Bradford White is their customer service is phenomenal, and they build a good product. I've been to see it. Joseph Lalibert, good to have you in here as always. Longtime listener, first-time caller. You know what? Welcome to the big show. How come you can't go from copper to 304 back to copper? And actually, you can. And I say that because, look, I did a study on stainless steel, and maybe it's not 304, maybe it's 316. I did a study on copper and stainless. you can't go to copper and black or copper and galvanized because of dissimilar metals. And literally, I saw a product where they were screwing stainless steel into copper. And I was like, oh man, this is going to be a problem. So I started doing the research so I could show them copper and stainless aren't dissimilar enough that they cause electrolysis. So it's okay to use them. So that's why I'm saying you might be able to, Joseph, I check into it or give me some more information because I know you can go from copper to stainless. I don't remember if it's 304 or 316, but anyway, I would definitely look at that a little more.
I posted the link for the review a little further up.
Oh, cool.
Had to go make a new one.
Oh, did you? Oh, for the review? Okay, cool. All right, so Will made a link. Is it under me or you?
I posted it as you.
Okay, so somewhere up top, I've got a post that has a link in it that goes to that Google review. So guys, if you will
pin it to the top.
He's pinning it. There you go. So if you will go, there it is. So if you will go over there and leave a review, look, if you've gained value, if you have got knowledge, man, all we ask is that you go over and say, look, I've learned so much from plumbing about Roger. Here's why. Or I like the fact that, I've learned from watching Roger's YouTube channel. And anyway, I know 94 reviews. Woo! And they got to be 5 stars, guys. Come on. We don't play around here. Okay, now wait. Remember, Luis, he said if we get 100 from tonight's show, there were 92 when it started. Okay, so there were 92 when it started, so that means we've only got 2 or 3. Don't get me wrong. Ruan's amazing. Yeah, if we get 100 from this call, see, no. It's got to be 100 from this one, so it's got to go to 192. So, guys, if y'all want to help us get there, do that. We're going to keep it legit. I'm not going to do it that way. Ashley, if you leave me some questions or information or more, leave me more information, I can help you a little bit more. Israel Escobar says, hey, Roger, love your show. Currently make $21 an hour at my job. If I became an open shop, non-union service apprentice, how long will it take for me to make 21 or more? In Illinois, I'm not sure because I'm not sure what scale is up there. And I know you said open shop, non-union. But most towns that have a union in them, and I know Chicago does, I know that, matter of fact, their union is good. They train service plumbing. And I know that because one of my mentors, Robert Melko, used to be up there. So the thing that I will tell you is check around and see. Union scale, if I'm not mistaken, in Chicago isn't bad. You might be able to get $21 an hour right now. It depends on what scale is right now. And Luis, I don't say nothing that I don't know what the word means. So sorry about that. Going back into the form, Ian Growcut says, I'm 15 working at McDonald's and earning money. I like that. Number one, I love the fact that you're 15, you're out working, you're bringing in cash. I love it. With the little money I have, how can I use it to better my chances of going into a union apprentice training program and get the heck out of McDonald's by 18? You know what, Ian, man, I love this because I'm going to kind of turn this around on you. Number one, there's study guides. There's things that you can buy to help you learn plumbing. But what I would tell you is learn to be a good employee while you're at McDonald's. And what I mean by that is always be on time. Always try to do your job better than any other employee. And if you start learning that now and you start focusing right now, like, hey, look, I'm going to do this better. I'm going to keep doing this until I become the best at it. So there's a lot of different things that you can work on. And, at 15, you can't get into the trades. I completely understand that. But if you'll become a great employee by the time you're 18, when you do go and apply, you're going to understand how to talk to a manager. You're going to understand how to communicate with them. You're going to understand what they're looking for. Remember, every manager you ever have wants you to make them look better. And what I mean by that is, if you do your job great to where when your manager's boss comes in and like, wow, you know what? And you're doing good. You're running a tight ship. Running a tight ship is great. But when you've got one employee that goes above and beyond to help you do that, man, you're gonna respect them. You're gonna work with them. You're gonna help them do a whole lot of things. So, Luis Angel, if you don't turn off the caps, one of these guys are gonna turn them off for you. It's very nice that you want me to say certain things. You're in my show, so turn off the caps or disappear. It's entirely up to you. Appreciate having you here, but Nightbot's kicked you out about 10 times. I'll do it once and you won't be back. Pretty nice, wasn't it? Sorry, guys, but man, when you see Nightbot getting on one person so many times and they're asking you to say things that you don't know, okay, you're allowed to have fun, but I'm not just here to say words that you want me to say, so enjoy that. Back into the forum. And I like that. Ian, look, man, you've got a great opportunity here. You're already out. You're already working. You're already doing a lot of things. I started working at about the age of, 11 or 12 or 13, somewhere there. I started hauling hay when I was in the 5th grade. A hard job, but I completely understood that the whole thing was to get the job done as quickly and efficiently as possible. And man, that's a huge deal. Bye, Luis. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Zakai says, what would you do? What would you do if you did something wrong? Man, that's an easy one for me, Zakai. I do stuff wrong all the time. See, I do. I mean, I just upset Luis. Not what I'm trying to do, but you got to understand where you're at and what you can do and can't do. So, my whole thing is when I do things wrong, I understand it. I fess up to him like, hey, look, man, I get it. On a plumbing deal, man, we try not to make mistakes, but we have. And we tell people, hey, look, we put in something and this didn't work. Or we get called and say, hey, this is something y'all repaired. Look, our warranty, man, I tell people, look, we warranty the quality of our work forever. Does that always happen? Absolutely. Now, what if we get in there and find out it wasn't our work, it was a bad fitting or a bad product or something like that? It literally, it's not what we're trying to do. We want to get in and see what the problem is, and we want to try and help them out. If we do things wrong, I have no problem telling them, man, look, and I'm sorry we did something wrong here. We're going to have to redo it. But our thing is we always take care of our problem if we do something wrong. I don't run from it. I don't hide it. We want to do what's right for the customer each and every time. And as long as we build our plumbing companies and act that way, it'll be great. Jacob Leva, how are you? Can flushable wipes clog up the works? Man, you should have been in here earlier. We covered flushable wipes pretty good. And here's the deal, guys. Don't get me wrong. Toilet paper can clog it up. Poop can clog it up. And what I mean by that, the cool thing about it is if you've got a break in there, poop and toilet paper can clog it up. If you've got a pipe and it's offset and it's flushing this way, it's going to hit this offset and it's going to start building up and eventually it can clog it up. Can flushable wipes cause a clog? They're probably not going to cause it, but they can contribute to it. But I always tell people that, go buy the Cottonelle flushable wipes and go buy baby wipes and put one of each in a red Solo cup. It's got to be red. No, I'm joking. I prefer the orange. Put them in a Solo cup. Put them in a cookie pan. Put them in whatever you want to put them in and then come back and check on them the next morning. And literally what happened for me, when I reached into the Cottonelle flushable wipes, they almost fell apart. It was literally almost like pulling toilet paper out of the cup. The baby wipes, pulled it out, it was still in one piece. It had not tried rotting, dissolving, or anything like that. Literally, you couldn't pull it apart. And then as I did research on it, I found out that baby wipes actually have plastic fibers to help hold everything together. Cottonelle flushable wipes don't. So can flushable wipes clog it up? Anything can clog it up if it's already broken, if there's something in there that's a problem. But I think there's a song about a red Solo cup. There is. Dank chat. I thought I said drink chat. Anyway, yeah, put them in water, try them out, see what they do, but you test them and tell me, because I've done it. And I think Cottonelle flushable wipes fell apart quicker than anything else. So yes, anything can cause a clog or contribute to it, but I don't think that they're just going to cause it. Tim Siebold says, hey, Roger, I'm 16 years old, automotive technician. I love that. Have a question. Wanted to know your opinion on Flushmate equipped toilets. I'll tell you what, and that's a good question, because I was asked to put those in a bar one time, and I was asking the owners, like, why? Why are you installing all these $250, $300 toilets? And literally his whole thing was, he said, look, women come in here and throw a lot of female products in. They throw paper towels in. They do this, they do that. And literally, Chuck is chilling. Boy, not the truth. Literally, those Power Flush toilets, you flush it, and I mean, he said, look, it will flush out whatever they put in here. Now, it ran into a problem later, because now he was getting sewer mains stopped up instead of just toilets. But, man, it really does. Those things work. They flush things out really, really well. And, man, they're easy to work on if you'll study them. Not a lot to them. Kind of like that. Guys, if y'all have got questions, I would advise you go up to the top, click on the link. Actually, that link up there is that. Go over into the forum. Ask your questions over there, please. I've got a few more left over there, but I'm jumping back over here in the chat for just a minute.
I did see that Nightbot talked about merch, and we got to mention that there's a new line on your merch store.
There is.
Yeah, it rhymes with spit never stops.
Spit never stops. Might have to jump over and check that out. Xgamer 3494 says, why do people even bother with shark bite fittings if they are that bad? And I'm not going to say that they're that bad. I'm just going to say, if they're not done 100% perfectly right every time, they leak. And the problem with it is that, man, why would a professional plumber go in and do something that has a chance on leaking? And my thing is, I want to go in and do what's right. I want to go in and make a solder joint, maybe even Upanor or something like that. There's a lot of things that can be used these days. But the cool thing about it is, and we were talking about this earlier, there's opportunity for new product coming along. I think over in Austria or Australia, they were talking about that they've got shark bite fittings over there, and that's all that they use. But, they're probably a little further advanced than ours are. I've got an idea in my head of a shark bite fitting that I think would work and not create a flow restriction. I wish PEX would literally change some of the stuff that they're doing in their fittings so they wouldn't create flow restrictions. I hate when plumbers put in PEX and they don't oversize the line. You end up with a flow restriction, and it's a problem. So it is not good. Great manager tactic. Let me talk to someone else that knows nothing and can't direct you in the right direction. Yeah, it's a crazy world. Look at something real quick just because I can. Uh, yeah. Uh, Links will get the Nightbot or the Nightbot onto you guys. Be careful there.
That one was a typo. He put tricks.lol instead of tricks space lol.
Oh,
I guess he was on.
no offense. Okay.
Yeah.
Oscar
So that
Valdez,
was
sorry
that was
about that, brother.
That was a mistake, but Nightbot he can't tell the difference between
Yeah.
a mistake and an actual
And he only
real
got
thing.
he only got timed out for 5 seconds. So I mean, it's like by the time I'd have typed in a new sentence, it'd have been longer than 5 seconds. So tell me this, number one, and we've been going for about an hour and a half now. Actually, at this point next week, it's members only. Everybody else will be allowed in here, but members only get the chat privileges. So if you're not a member and you want to be, man, jump over there, say something, sign up, and do what you got to do. Caesar, can I get a job in plumbing if I have a DUI on my driving record? Absolutely. Number one, it may depend on what company you're going to work for, but if you're a commercial plumber and you're not driving other people's vans, stuff like that, I don't know that would ever even get brought up or noticed or realized. If you are working for a company where you're going to be driving their vehicle, man, you may have to take extra insurance, do different things. The last thing any company owner wants is somebody to wreck their vehicle and hurt somebody. So that's why they look at that and say, man, but I got to tell you, I know people that literally had DWIs. I know people that have been in wrecks and killed people and are still driving company vehicles. So it depends on what company you go to work for, what their company policies are, what their insurance allows them to do or not allow them to do. There's a lot of different things that you can look at to try to figure it out and see what you can make happen. But man, don't let something like that keep you out of a trade, because you definitely got an opportunity. And Apex War, Fatberg wet wipes in England. It's so funny because I'll tell you a neat story, because right now is the reason, or that is the reason that I have an entertainment manager. I actually had a company out of New York reach out to me and say, look, we're wanting to do a video about fatbergs. Would you be interested in being the plumber that goes down in the sewer and looks at them and does all this? And I literally had to look up fatbergs. It's like, wait, I know I've heard that. What is it? And Apex War is right. It's that they had a problem in London. I think they've had problems in New York or Michigan, something like that. So literally what happens is when you flush baby wipes, I'm not saying flushable wipes, I'm saying baby wipes, female products, paper towels, napkins, sheets, dirty underwear, diapers, female products, anything at all that gets flushed down the sewer, it ends up collecting, meaning it may all end up like at the biggest spot of the sewer before it goes to the water treatment plant or something like that, and it becomes this solid. It starts getting hard because of all the greases and the oils and different things that people are putting down the drains. Everything gets coated and it starts sticking together. And literally, I think the one over in England was as long and as tall as like 7 of those double-decker buses. And it's an expensive project to get people down in the sewers safely and get all that removed and cleaned out. But if they don't, basically the sewer system gets clogged up. So, again, it's another reason why I talk about the Cottonelle flushable wipes, because I know that they dissolve like that. It works. I've tested them. I know it for a fact. It's not just me going by what other people tell me. 6 double-decker buses long. There you go. Knew I was close. It shut them down for a while. And I mean, it takes that long to clean it out. It was horrible. And like you said, Google it. So anyway, I had a company out of New York reaching out to me saying, look, we want to do a TV show, a documentary, a special about fatbergs. Will you be the plumber that goes down in there and checks it out and fixes it and does it and yada, yada, yada? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd do that. So I had to hire a manager, and now I've got a manager, and I hadn't heard back from that company out of New York. But I love what I do, and now I'm getting even better opportunities coming along. Crack Pipe says, I own a smaller company, 4 guys. We specialize in diesel generators and welding. On the fence of joining the union, but don't see anything in it other than being able to bid on larger jobs. Here's the good things about the union. And it's so funny because literally it's a video we shot earlier today. Why I got out of the union. But I talk about why I love the union and why I hate the union. And there's both. It's a love-hate relationship. The funny thing about it, though, is literally there's great things about it. But I don't see why you would join the union just to bid on larger jobs unless you could get more people, more pipe fitters, more welders, more of whatever it is that you need. That, to me, would be about the only thing. If you're residential, God, don't join the union. It's cost me a small fortune and definitely not worth it. So I literally, I don't get it. I wanted to join the union because it was the best thing for my employees. I wanted them to have good insurance. I wanted them to have benefits. I wanted all kinds of things like that. Problem is, it turned out to cost me a small fortune, almost put me out of business because they could not give me labor, which is why you join the union. So you've got access to labor. And the labor they have doesn't know anything about residential service. So kind of a tough way to go. Tristan Doak, enjoy class. Thank you for jumping in here tonight. I really do appreciate it. And USAF, welcome. If you're in the United States Air Force, thank you for your service. I've actually got a nephew that is a fighter pilot in the Air Force, and man, love hearing his stories, talking to him, hearing what all's going on, seeing what all's happening. Pretty freaking cool. So, back over in the chat. Tiny Tim says, Roger, in the trades on social media, how hard is it to get started? And this is really good, Tiny Tim, because in the trades, it's not hard. It's not as hard if you're in the trades as it is anybody else, or not any harder. Let me put it that way. The funny thing about it is, look, any of us could start a YouTube channel tomorrow. Whether you're in the trades, whether you're a breast augmentation doctor, it really doesn't matter. Starting a YouTube channel takes research. You've got to figure out what to make videos about. You've got to create good content. You have to engage with your community, which is why we do what we do right here. There's so many different things that we try to do better. And I try to do it because I want to bring value to people. And if you look at it that way, you're always going to do good. So Tiny Tim, it's not hard to start a YouTube channel. It's not hard to do social media. If you're a tradesperson and you want to grow your business, here's what it takes. Come up with great content, understand the value of the people on the other side, the people that are watching the videos, and always engage with them. So really, that's what it's all about. That's what it takes. And if you want to grow a good channel or any platform, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram. There's so much to do that there's so many people there that it takes a lot of work. So you've got to figure out, is it worth dedicating what you want to dedicate it? or the time and the resources and stuff like that. And Tiny Tim, the thing I'll tell you is, it takes a lot of time on me. It takes a lot to give the content, the value, the research, everything. It takes all the time. It takes a lot of work, but is it worth it in the end? Absolutely. Tyler C says, is there any update to the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners being around longer than 2021? I know Governor Abbott extended it until then, but what happens afterwards? Tyler, it's a great question because that is one that it's on my list to make a video about. Senfronia Thompson just passed or wrote House Bill, I think it's 636, which is it's her bill to extend the Texas State Board beyond just the governor's emergency action plan. You know, guys, here's the deal. Matter of fact, how many of y'all are in Texas? If y'all will do me a favor, go through here and tell me where you're from. I know Julia's coming. Everybody do me a favor. Go through here and tell me where you're from and are you a licensed plumber? And I'm going to hit the be right back button. I'm going to go get rid of some of this water. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Man, I've been putting a lot of water in and finally had to get a lot of water out. So, back to social media. If you've got the time, the desire, and you really want to help people, it's a great way to do it. So you can literally, you can get in here and help a lot of people. So I love it. So I'm going to scroll back in here. Okay, so we've got Dallas, Texas, Illinois, Maryland. I BRB'd y'all. I like that electronic shadow. I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay. Dave Lingers in BS. I get that. RMP. Love it. Richie Plummer, California, El Paso, Ohio. Okay. So we've got a few Texans in here. I like that. Number one, I'm kind of like Julie. I love seeing that they're from everywhere. But we do, I know Canada's a big place. There's Texas is pretty big too. Here's the deal. Here in Texas, we're fighting for our license again. So Senfronia Thompson posted or wrote a new bill, and it's House Bill 636, and it is to restore the crap show that what's his name? Chris Patty did by trying to eliminate it. And here's the deal. Here's what's bad about certain politicians. They get so much money in their pocket from donators that they'll do whatever they tell them to do. And I think that is sad. So it's time for us to start fighting for our license again. We need to start contacting our senators and representatives, whoever represents us. And we've got to start fighting for this again. So, guys, that's what it's going to take. Julie's right. Senfronia Thompson is amazing. And thanks to her and some other people actually down there at the House of Representatives, she's done a lot for us. So I'm going to love making videos talking about it to inform people, to help them learn what all's going on, what we need to be doing, what we should be doing. And guys, I got to tell y'all, it's going to take all of us. You know, I applied to the governor to be on the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners. I can't even get them to contact me about an interview. So I don't know if they've just, if they've decided they're not going to fill it up, if they're not going to replace the seats, or what they're going to do. There's no telling. Well, Electronic Shadow, it's great that you've been here for an hour or so or more. And we got a few people from Iceland in here. Pretty cool. There is she's from Houston, Texas, right, Julie? Still wouldn't be comfortable with saying that, but you do you. Not sure what you're talking about.
Not sure why people are comfortable saying their location.
I'm in Richardson, so it's easy for me. Toby, Dallas, I'm assuming you're in Dallas. And I'm glad you love the videos. That's cool. You know, the whole neat thing about it, though, guys, is look, Chris Patty had decided he was going to get rid of the Texas State Board. Enough plumbers stood up, fought, yelled, screamed, cried, talked to their representatives and their senators, and told them, hey, look, we need a license. And it's not just, I got to speak at the rally, and I am so thankful to Mary Conger and hashtag 71K Plum Strong for that opportunity. The cool thing about it is that was a big rally. And the day before is when the governor said, okay, look, I'm going to do a stay of execution, really is what it was. I'm going to sign an executive order extending it because we need a license. It wouldn't be very good to have everybody in the state as a plumber the way, Perry's wonderful, brilliant Texas A&M mind thought about it. The cool thing about it is, look, if we all get together, we all go down peacefully, respectfully, talk to our senators, our representatives, and explain to them why it's important that we keep a plumbing license, why it's important we keep the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners doing the things that we do, man, we'll still be there. And it's going to take all of us. It's not just one or two. We need as many plumbers in Austin as we can get there. And I've got a feeling over the next 3 or 4 months, I'm going to be spending a lot of time down there again. So anyway, got a super chat again from Sulky86. Says, what's a good way to learn about service plumbing if you don't work for a plumbing company besides your channel? Well, see, you picked the best spot. And look, here's what's neat is, and I love the way Will has set up our channel and done a lot of different things. The cool thing about it is we've got channels that show us out in the field working, or videos that show us out in the field working. We've got videos where we stand in here and talk about how to study. We've got videos where we talk about how to get a job, how to get started in the trades. There's so many different videos we got. So Sulky, number one, this is a great place to start. You're right. I always recommend the UPC study guide. I know Grayson had put a link to it in there earlier. I don't know if it's still in here or not, but there's a lot of different things that we do. Dong Fu Wang says poop freaks me out. Then become a commercial plumber. I tell people all the time, that's what I put the free mini course up for. Everybody may not want to deal with poop. Some people, it's like, look, it doesn't bother me. It is what it is. The smell of it doesn't even bother some people. Me, I got a good gag reflex. But at the end of the day, man, there's a lot of different opportunities. You could literally get into plumbing and never see poop your entire career. I mean, other than your own. So there's a lot of different things that can happen. Okay, so Joshua Bailey, what is LATTC? I'm assuming that's like Los Angeles Technical Training Center or something. Maybe pretty close. Crystal Roy says, my husband cut a lead pipe today full of poop. Hey, poop water is what it's all about. That's what we get paid for. Now, it may be bringing it in. It may be making it go out. It could be a lot of different things. Electronic Shadow, let's don't bring up the Discord again. Man, I think Will dislikes Discord about as much as I do. So it's one I really don't think we need to worry about. Dongfu Wang says a local plumber in South Florida quoted my wife $1,200 to install a toilet. I smelled fecal matter. See, he's using my words. Fecal remnants were there. So anyway, Silky, look, we're working on a training course. We don't have it ready yet. We've got the basic one that is started. Will and I were talking about just this day or two ago. We've got to work on getting more videos in there, and that's on our list. That will be a good spot once it's done. It will teach somebody the basics and things that they can learn, things they can practice on. So when they do get a job, they're gonna really do well. Back over in the forum real quick. Says I didn't go to the next one. There we go. So we'd already answered for that one for Tiny Tim while ago. Sam Osborne says channel locks or pipe wrenches for 1/2-inch black iron. Man, it depends on how tight it is. And Sam, that's a good question. I've got a little bitty pipe wrench that I really do like. It doesn't bother me at all. And there are some that I've grabbed with a pair of channel locks and undone it. I prefer the pipe wrench, depending on how bad it is, how long it's been installed, things like that. There's a lot of different reasons, but different ways to go. Electronic Shadow says it's almost 1 a.m. Man, we're getting close to being done here. There was one I saw that I wanted to. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, man, I completely lost that one. Ron Johnson, if you're working for a plumber's helper in a commercial apartment complex, are you supposed to be registered as an apprentice? If you're in Texas and you're working as an apprentice, you're supposed to be registered. And here's the deal. If you're not, it's going to hurt you. And I say that because it's going to hurt you because when you want to get your plumbing license, they're going to go back and look at when you became an apprentice, when you got started. And they're not going to give you credit for hours before then because the plumbing license law and board rules are written as in, hey, you've got to be registered in order for your hours to count. So, yeah, you need to do that. Engraved Block says best boots for plumbing. Any recommendations? Man, this is easy. And I've got them on right now. We did a video about White's boots. What's it been, Will, about a month now? No? And I got to tell you, I did the video as soon as I got them in. We went through their process, ordered them. We did a lot of different things. Okay, me, Dibble, I want to know how you're here because of Discord. I want you to explain that one. Because I can't even make it make sense in my mind. So we did a video, White's Boots, and I've had a brand out of Detroit for years, and they quit making their best boots. Meaning, literally, I went in to pick up my boots one day because I always bought the same style for years. And what I did is I walked into the store, and they said, well, you may want to order 2 pair. They said they're quitting making this style. I said, wait a minute, you told me this is their best-selling brand or best-selling model. And I'm like, why would they quit selling it? He says, I can't tell you that. He says, all I can tell you is they're not making this style anymore. And I bought that pair. I probably should have bought 2 or 3, but now I'm glad I didn't because, man, when you are not going to make your best-selling product, there's something wrong, and I don't get it. But anyway, somebody recommended White's Boots to me. I checked it out. I went to their website, went through it, and, man, I was blown away at how they make boots. And they are solid. You can completely rebuild them. Don't get me wrong, guys. They're more expensive than what I was paying. But from the day I put them on, the way they felt on my feet, I was like, okay, this is a different kind of boot. And I love it. So, guys, I'll tell you, White's boots are phenomenal. I love them. And no, I cannot shave off my mustache. That's my moneymaker. Here's the hat that I'll bring over here and show you. And Will's going to fix the camera for me. I'm going to move over there. But, okay, ready? Here it is right here. And that's my hat. And when I turn it around, hold on. When I turn it around and show you the back, that's what it looks like there. So if you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, I'll suggest you jump over and get connected with me. I've also got a Vid Summit. I've got a Tube Buddy. And then I've got, and here's another one. And this is another one of my favorites. This is one of my Ferguson hats. And I got to tell y'all, they sponsor my channel on Wednesdays. And I love it because, man, they've given me some great tools. And people have asked me 2 or 3 times tonight, what brand tools do you like? And Brandon, I'm not sending you my Vito Pro Pack, brother. I love it. But people ask me right here, what are your favorite tools? Rigid, Nipex, or Baco? Now, I've never heard of Baco, but the Nipex, I've been wanting to try those, and I may not even be saying it wrong. Man, my thing is, I love tools, and I tell people all the time about me and social media. It's, look, I just found new tools and learned how to use them. The cool thing about it is, man, with the right tools, you can do anything. And if you learn to use the tools you have better, you might even be able to work faster, to work harder, to work more efficiently. And that's going to bring more value to your employer, so more value to you. And I do. I have an epic mustache, electronic shadow. Thank you. And Ritter 939, you're right. Good footwear is key to everything. It literally, man, it changes your day. When you go home and your feet hurt, it's crazy. I get up just about every morning. The only morning I don't get up and work out is Sunday, but I get up every morning and walk either 4 1/4 or 6.5 miles, depending on what day of the week it is. And that's my treadmill routine. And to do that and then put on my boots and be on my feet all day, it doesn't bother me. So, man, I love the fact that I've got a good pair of boots. It is huge. Conrad Rayner says, you got me interested in plumbing. Now I'm a freshman at a technical high school for plumbing. Do you have any advice? Absolutely. Number one, the videos where we talk about being an apprentice and working to be the very best. Always try to be the best. If you're not trying to be the best, man, I don't get it. It's so huge because, and think about it like this. The best companies in the world make the most money. The best tools are the ones that get bought. If you've got money in your pocket and you walk into a tool shop and you've got Rigid, or you have made in some country you can't even pronounce, which one are you going to buy? People pay more for what's best. And that's why the best makes more money. And it's an easy way to put it. I'm reading a book right now, again, for the second or third time, called The Dip. And if you've never read it, by Seth Godin, you need to read it, because he teaches you why it's important to be the very best. And at the end, it's because you get paid more. And it really is, it's worth it. Gerardo Andrade, how are you? I hope I said that right. Gerardo says, I'm an electrician in Arkansas, and I like watching your videos. I'm currently remodeling my bathroom, and I'd like to know how to check which tub and shower kit I can use without doing the entire plumbing. Gerardo, what you need to do is, I hope you took pictures of your trim before, but take a picture of the tub and shower valve that's in there. See what brand it is. See if you can tell what model it is. You can probably, as long as you've got a good brass body valve, you can probably leave that and get an entirely new trim kit for the outside, and everything will look brand new. It's phenomenal. Good question. A great way to do it. Gerardo, there's a company here in Dallas. I don't know where you're located. There's a company here in Dallas called Teeters. And Teeters is really good about, if you will text them a picture, email them a picture, they can normally tell you what brand it is. They can tell you a lot of things about it. So it's pretty cool. Gerardo, anyway, thank you so much for the question, and thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. So, and guys, we're probably going to cut a little bit short today, so we're probably going to go about 10 more minutes. The reason I say that is I've got a Zoom call tonight. I'm in training to be better. So I've got training tomorrow and Wednesday. Then Wednesday I get on a plane going to Orlando to speak to a group of roofers about social media and how they can use social media to grow their business and get bigger and better. Senho Maltani, do you become a master plumber at the end of your apprentice program? And actually you don't. Normally at the end of your apprentice program, you become a journeyman. You start out as an apprentice. Here in Dallas, what happens is the way the local set up. In Texas, you've got to have 8,000 hours to get your journeyman license. So here in Dallas, what happens is you go to the apprentice training center for the first 4 years, you get your license. Your 5th year, you've already got your license, but this is where you fine tune. This is where you get better. This is where you learn foreman skills. You learn a lot of different things. And hopefully that helps make it all better. Jump over here in the comments just for a little bit and fly around. Wacky Take Adventures is aircraft mechanic from Ohio. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Raymond James, great way to look at it. If they find out you're the best, they'll ask for you. Man, there's so much truth in that. When I joined the union, I was a hard worker, and I made sure that every job I was on, remember, I came in from open shop, so they didn't like me already. But when I came into the union, I wanted to make sure I outworked every other plumber there was, every other journeyman, everybody. I wanted to outwork everybody. I wanted to do better work. I wanted it to look better. I wanted it to perform better. I wanted it to not have leaks. And I remember a guy getting mad at me one day, and he was just complaining because I came in from open shop. But the superintendent called us together and talked. And he looked at the guy. He said, "Do you have any complaints against Roger?" He said, "Well, I can't complain about his work." He says, "Everything he puts in is true and square, and it doesn't leak, and we don't have to go back and redo it." He was just upset that I'd come in from open shop. But at the end of the day, man, he's a good guy, and he understood, look, Roger does good work, so I can't complain. And, man, that's what it's about. Always try to be the very best you can be. And if you're not trying to, man, try something else. Do something else. Dong Fu Wang says, so if you're so buff you can't fit under the crawl space, does that mean you need an apprentice? Either that or go on a diet. And I know you said buff, I'm joking. What plumbing industry makes the most money? Oh, good question. It really depends. Residential service, you can probably make more because you can get incentivized. But as a director of operations for a big enough mechanical contractor, you can get enough bonuses to make a big delta there. So, yeah, a lot of opportunity both ways. Val Santana, welcome in here. Says, I feel not a lot of younger kids are not interested in plumbing trade. Plumbers in the future will be able to name their price. Val, man, I love that you said that because I've been saying that for about a year now. I've been saying in the next 5 years, I think plumbers will be making $100 an hour on the check. And I really, really do. Social media is useful for freelancing. And I don't know if I'd call it freelancing. And the reason I say that is, freelancing over here, you've still got to have a license. You've still got to have insurance. There's still a lot of things you've got to do. And if you don't, it's going to end up coming and costing you, and it could cost you your license. So to me, it's just not worth it. My father worked at manufacturing. The more work they gave him, you bet. It adds up. And let's go back to talking about the plumbing license before we get off here. If you're in Texas, I really want y'all to understand we're fighting for our license. We're fighting for the Texas State Board. We're fighting for what we think is right. And the Texas State Board made a lot of mistakes. They are also in the process of fixing a lot of those mistakes, and most of them are done. Had we not had COVID come along when it did, I think that would have already been taken care of. But what we need to do is we all need to literally go out, contact, go to whorepresentsme.com, find out who your representative is. It's bad when a plumber knows politics like that. Find out who represents the area that you live in, because that's who you vote for. So you're their constituent, and that's the ones they want to talk to. And my whole thing is what we need to do is learn who those people are and talk to them, explain to them why it's important to you that a professional licensed plumber is taking care of people, not somebody who just, got their license in a Cracker Jack box or something. So do what you got to do, learn what you got to learn, and contact those people and go down and talk to them respectfully, polite, friendly, and let's learn how to get better. Can I get plumbing leads for a master plumber and have him teach me and take me as an apprentice? Yeah, Israel, I know an apprentice here in the Dallas area that hires master plumbers. He's got his own company. He runs it like a legit company. He goes out and talks to people, does sales, and has his master plumbers pull permits and stuff and oversee his work and work with him. So, yeah, it can be done. Scarcity of plumbers in North Texas, Sam Betterman, abso-freaking-lutely. We definitely need, we definitely, we need more plumbers, but we need more of all tradesmen. It's not just plumbers. It's electricians, it's roofers, it's HVAC techs. Tradesmen in general. We literally need everybody that wants to get in the trades, we need to build ways to recruit them. We are short tradespeople, and we need more of us. And we need more of us right here. Val Santana says, I work at Ferguson and Euless. I was at the Capitol in Austin with all the plumbers when they were protesting. And look, I was there. I emceed it, and I spoke at it. And we do. And look, number one, Val, I love that you're at Ferguson. My local sales rep at the time was Stephen Early, and he contacted Ferguson. They brought a pallet of water down. So, look, thank y'all for all y'all did. Steve Early is fantastic, and I love what he's done for the plumbing industry. So it's really pretty cool. So Multani says, what do you think about plumbing in Canada since there are a lot of old people here? I'll tell you what, I try to recruit people to plumbing in Canada too. I understand that y'all are needing people. I've actually tried getting in touch with Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister, because look, I think what I talk about here needs to be talked about up there. And man, I really think that we can all kind of help recruit worldwide and get people into the trades. Jacob's Random Videos, brother, welcome. I'm glad you came in, and I'm glad you enjoy watching. Thank you so much. Brandon Conley says, I'm in school for HVAC, just got my EPA cert, so I can work. So can I work, or is there an apprentice license I have to have? If you're a certified technician, which I'm assuming you got that before you got your EPA cert. Brandon, I'm sure you can go ahead and work. That's what I've got. Man, Adam Gamble, you're right. We need more honest tradesmen. Let me see. There's one more I saw down here I wanted to talk. Iceland is overflowing with work. Yeah, I wish. Texas is too. Like, and here's the thing. In Wacky Tech Adventures, really, mechanics aren't part of the trades. I guess you could say they are. An automotive technician is still a technician. Israel says, my wife just said, if you give me a job, we're moving to Texas. That's pretty funny. Yeah, and in Texas, we can carry any gun we want to with the right license. Guys, here's what I'm going to tell you. I do this because I believe in the trades. I do this because I believe that if more people learned about the trades, they could learn their way up. A lot of people say they're in a bad situation, but they don't want to work their way up out of it. And my whole thing is, look, you're in the situation you're in, only you can change that. I can give you information, but I can't make you learn your way up. I can give you information, but I can't make you understand it. There's a lot of different things that we can all do. If you want out of your situation bad enough, or you want to improve your life bad enough, you can get your plumbing license. You can move to an area where it pays more. You can move to an area that has more opportunities. There's so many different things that you can do in order to improve your life, improve yourself. And what I would say is, if you want to get into the trades, get started in it. I make videos about how to get started. Go watch the free mini course first. Do that and see what happens. Because when you learn a little bit and you learn what kind of plumber you want to be or what kind of thing you want to get into, it's crazy. And Kristen says, I'm a rigid girl here. Also like Napex. Bacho was good, but they are now weak after they started making them in China. And that's the thing. Half our tools start getting made in China and the quality goes away. Kristen, thank you, though. I'm wanting to try the Napex. I'm going to end up having to get some. And there's another one, Woohoo or Wava or something like that. I don't remember it. I see a lot of stuff because I look at a lot of different things. But guys, what I'll tell you, if you're in the trades, try to be the very best you can be. And if you continuously try to get better, you continuously try to improve yourself, you're going to do good. And the cool thing about it is, the harder you work at learning, at educating yourself, the more it's going to pay off. Because the more value you bring to your employer, the more money you become worth. So what I will tell you is, I really hope that when you come here, you learn something. I hope that when you watch my videos, you learn something. If you haven't done it yet, if you're still in here, give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you like what we're doing. If you've never done it, subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. That way you know when we're going live, when we're doing the things that we're doing. But better than that, man, come back in here next time. I really do. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. And I hope we see you again next week. I'm Roger Wakefield, lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.